All right, let's go.
Thank you. Now you can see the sheet even more sharper than ever. Iron Sky teaser has been a long way, and it's finally coming to an end. But we are here telling what happened, basically what's the workflow, and we are using examples from making of this teaser and some examples from Star Trek. But first, let me introduce you to these guys who have been helping a lot while making this teaser. While Star Trek was made 95% by myself, I mean the special effects, of course Mikko here helped with Star Trek as well. He's responsible for the tank scenes in the beginning of the movie and the final
huge effort
and the countdown scene, when the Babel 13 reactor explodes. He was the man behind the countdown thingy. And here is Jussi Lehtiniemi, who is responsible for the concept art we are going to show you as well, and you have probably seen already. And here is Laku, hello, our other 3D guy, and he's using currently Maya. And Mikko was using 3ds Max, but now he's...
Yeah, we have sort of switched to soft image, so this is a transition phase we're going on.
Yeah, I'm still. This teaser was almost fully rendered with Lightwave 3D, but it really shows in the rendering speed and in other segments as well. It's a pretty old software, and the development team is pretty small in Lightwave. But enough of that. Mikko, you have the Khan.
Thank you. What I'm gonna present here is our workflow for the 3D production of Iron Sky, because, well, the title said that the workflow of the production, but since assembly is computer-related stuff, so we're gonna introduce the 3D. And here's our main timeline for the production. Lots of information here, don't worry, we're gonna go one by one, and we're gonna keep it short. And this presentation has been made for people who have no idea what 3D is about, so try to hang on if you're an expert, or well, there seems to be a lot of 3D guys in assembly, so please hang on.
How many 3D experts are there here now?
Cool. So I was wrong. 3 guys. That's great. Well, I have color-coded this presentation. So the blue stuff is pre-production. The orange stuff is the main production theme, and then the yellow stuff is doing after everything the material is kind of finished or almost finished. And then when we get to the green spot over there, then we're done. So I think this is going to be easy to follow. And there's also a timeline, which is here in the upper corner. There you can see when we're done with this presentation. So we thought of you guys when we made this. Okay.
Yeah, let me show, because of course Iron Sky is a big project. I'm talking about the actual film, not just a teaser or the second teaser or trailer, whatever. We are in pre-production phase right now. We have began drawing mood boards. Actually, we have one finished, and we have done concept.
We're somewhere over here.
Yeah, we have done concept art, and manuscript is half ready. we have a second version.
That's embarrassing. Nice. Okay.
Yeah. So we have a second version of the script ready, and I expect that we have about 4 versions of the script. So, and we have begun the CGI breakdown. So we are in pre-production, and hopefully next year we are entering the production phase, starting to render the final images of the Iron Sky film.
Can I move on now?
Yes.
Okay.
You can move now.
So pre-production, going to the first step here. We're starting with mood board. Actually, Jussi can tell us something about mood boards, what it is.
A mood board is it's more like a visual target for all the designs and environments we want to have. And for example, this is part of the mood board for the Nazi fleet, and it's about finding the like a common language.
Yeah, the feeling.
The feeling.
Oh.
Say, I'm telling the director that how about something like that looks like RoboCop 2, and then we put the RoboCop 2 picture in there, so that we both know what we're talking about.
And artistically, this is a very important step. So before we do anything that takes a lot of time, we can get the feeling that we want to present in the final product. So it's
more like the design style.
Yeah, and the design style, of course. Yeah. But this way, we don't do anything for well.
It's pretty quick. It's just compiling, basically looking at Google and looking at relevant books and films and stuff like that, and just compiling them in one place. It might be more like a film, or then might be this kind of like a visual, just a pile of visuals on a board.
And of course, everything has been done already, so it's a nice way to learn from the people that you admire or that have done nice work. So this is our first phase before we do anything else. After mood boards, we progress to concept art. So basically, we might have the idea of the film already or the production, but this is the second quickest way to make some kind of pictures
like
that relate to the feeling.
Visualization of the ideas.
Yeah, the problem we faced during the teaser production was that Timo, the director, couldn't explain what he wanted directly to these 3D guys. So basically we needed one guy, Jussi, to explain us, the 3D guys, what Timo wants.
Yeah, and to read Timo's complicated mind and put it into paper.
So not an easy job.
And I think Jussi has done a pretty good job. Nearly 95% of the stuff that Jussi has done, Timo has accepted, or maybe he has had some small attunements, but nothing big. So the discussion of things is going really well.
How long did you draw this picture, Jussi?
This picture, this is of course the final. We went through quite a few versions before this, say 5 to 6, but it was about like finding, first Timo defined the elements he wanted to have in the shot, and then he provided me like a plate that was shot with a green screen. And then I took the guy with the motorcycle and we started putting those elements in. Like he wanted to have some kind of bunker outpost there. He wanted to have the road going down to the lower plains. And he wanted to have an old Autobahn that's been there for quite a few decades already.
So 1 week or 2 weeks or?
Not that much. I'd say this is like 2 or 3 days worth of work. So it's pretty quick. And it's like a concept artist needs to work pretty quick.
Yeah, if you can draw.
Yeah, and you have the way of working that you make several versions. I've seen 10 or 20 versions of some of your your ship designs, and I think it's excellent. We actually get to choose.
You gotta
what
have
we
a lot of shit to pick from.
yeah, and lots of ideas. So every idea you make a different concept. You change something a little.
Yeah.
Yeah. But basically, this is the second phase, and it helps a lot to have this when you're actually going to start modeling or doing other stuff for the 3D. Okay, let's move on. The manuscript, of course, this is actually a stupid picture. But anyway, this is a screenshot of our manuscript. Of course, important phase of the production.
Written by Timo, first script, his first script.
So this is what's going to happen in word form, naturally. So the next phase is breaking the text down into CGI. What we mean by CGI breakdown is list every single object, every single event that's happening in the script and put it into their own place. And that's the only way we can start building timetables or assigning stuff to artists. And
What does the CGI mean?
Anyone? Well,
It's
of course,
computer-generated
computer-generated images,
image.
but
Something like that.
but this is the first phase for making timetables, and we have actually done the first version of CGI breakdown for Iron Sky, the movie, and it seems that we have how many CGI scenes? Several hundred, anyway.
About 15 minutes of CGI.
Yeah, and we have an estimate of how long it's going to take with this current production team. I'm not going to say it. It's awful. But
no, it's really interesting. It was if I would do this alone, it was 10 years or something like that.
Yeah, something like that. And the way you are a perfectionist, so it's 30 years.
Yeah,
something.
basically. So we kind of need help this time.
Yeah.
I need help.
But of course, the project is different. So this time we actually have money. Okay.
Well,
Okay. Let's move on. This is pretty simple. I could mention this. We have an object list that is a very crude list of single things that we can do, and then there's the event list for stuff like explosions that we don't actually model. We do it with different sort of plugins or smoke simulation or whatever. We list them in a different place, but the main thing is that we have a clear view of what we have to do, and when we do it, we scratch it over. Okay, moving on. Brainstorm. Of course, we do brainstorm in a way that is stress-free. We gather into one place. We have lots of drink and fruit and lots of post-it notes.
and lots of beer.
And at this phase, we do not criticize ideas. We draw everything up. Everything is put to the wall, no matter how crazy or kinky or whatever. It's in there. And the criticizing comes after we have harvested all the crazy stuff, because any crazy idea can develop into something that's very, very usable or important in the film. So you can't rule out anything at this phase. And then after the first idea storm is done, then we're going to actually start making sense of it and make something concrete. Anything on okay? Storyboard, naturally. This is the image version of the manuscript, and naturally a very important thing for artists. They can actually view something, not final, but the camera angles, what's in each shot, what kind of objects, how close are the objects to the camera. In 3D production, this is very important. You don't want to make anything in high detail that's gonna, swoosh over the camera like, or in the background, small stuff, and you just lose a lot of time if you make things too accurate. So naturally, storyboard is our best friend.
Yeah, Timo can actually draw storyboards pretty
Now, these are
nicely.
Timo's drawings, aren't they?
He learned lots of things while making Star Trek storyboards. It's really fun to see how his style of drawing has changed and evolved during these years.
Dramatically.
Yeah,
He's actually a very good drawer nowadays. Okay. After storyboard, there comes an animatic, which is a simple animation plan where we actually model some things. Okay, this is maybe in too high detail for an animatic. It can actually be boxes or anything. But the main thing is that the timing of the scenes is correct, somewhat correct, and the camera angle, so we can see what actually is happening, how the camera moves, how the angle moves, and we can use these together with the shot material, which is done by camera. And we're starting to make an animatic of Iron Sky.
Yeah,
right about
we
now.
are trying. We are planning the space battle scene with low detail models of the ships, and we are trying out the ship designs, how they work from different angles, and how good the shapes are if we in different scenes.
Yeah, and the good thing about Iron Sky is that we don't have any actors or filmed material yet, but we have a pretty good idea of the CGI shots, so we can actually start making those shots already. So it's not post-production. 3D is not post-production like it is in most productions. We're making the film already, but that kind of helps with the timetable. Then I think we're moving to production, which means that it begins with technical planning. Now, what this means is we're thinking of all the programs, all the different sort of plugins or anything we might need. We have to know it in advance. We have to buy the software, not copy it or download or anything. You have to know already if you have, for example, smoke, like in the table scene. What software are you gonna use for the smoke? I don't think that basic 3D packages have a lot of good options for that. They're mostly separate plugins or specialized software that is used to make that kind of thing. Liquid simulations, character, whatever, cloth, whatever simulations are. Technical planning is important that we can get that information before we start working, and we don't bump into it when later on.
Yeah, we have actually technically started this technical planning already, because we are thinking what 3D programs we are going to use in Iron Sky production. As I mentioned, we are using Lightwave, Maya, 3ds Max, and now XSI, and 4 different programs is way too much for a small production like this. So we are trying to find one common program, and maybe it's the new XSI soft image XSI 7.
Looks so far so good, but and technical planning is also linked with recruiting, because if there's a specific area of 3D crowd simulation or something, we need to know who can do it, so we can recruit him. So it's important to know it beforehand. And then,
by the way, Mikko is responsible for the this scene in the teaser.
Yeah. Timetables. Okay, I'm sorry I didn't have any image for our timetables. So here's my Google Calendar. But at this phase, we start assigning stuff to artists, and well, we know the objects and scenes we have to create. And of course, we have done the technical planning, so we do know who knows what to do, what things. So we assign scenes to guys, and they start working.
And when the timetable is finished, we at least double the needed time.
Yeah. We multiply it by pi, isn't that correct?
Yeah, that's pretty much
It's
the
usually
truth.
pretty accurate. People seem to estimate their working skills as
Like
they
gods.
were Superman. Yeah. But it doesn't work like that.
I do that a lot.
And then there's also the Murphy aspect. Anything can happen. Your computer might explode. We actually had a case of that at the office. It literally exploded. But anyway, timetables, of course, are important. They have to be flexible. We use a software, don't we?
I hope so.
Okay. Yeah. After that, we get into production of the actual models. We're not modeling AIDS, the virus. This is the modeling aids for the 3D software. We visualize the objects from different views, and then we begin matching it in the 3D. How do you say it? Well, we begin modeling with these. Jussi, can you tell us something about this? You have done these images, right?
Okay, the left hand ones are that's the bunker that we saw in the concept painting earlier, and these are side views. I don't know why why didn't you put the fancy perspective view here, but we had one as well. But it's usually you take like the main elements of the scene, say architecture and all sorts of objects. I suppose it's usually architecture, and then you make this kind of architectural drawings of it to help the modeler.
So this left here, Mikko, can you go back?
Yeah, sure.
So you are seeing the building right over there, right? The bunker. So first this, and then we break the elements into these sketches and detail plannings, and then the 3D modeling began.
Yeah, and the modeling aids are accurate, so it's pretty easy to model with them. It's such a huge help, and the modeler doesn't have to think at all, actually. So it can be an engineer, not an artist. Yeah, but huge help. Thanks for the nice images.
Cheers.
Of course, this might include some info for the animation as well. So what's happening in different parts of the structure, or well, it can be pretty much a vehicle or anything.
By the way, I forgot those for the teaser concept art. I was so worried that you wouldn't make the radar spin.
Yeah, well, don't worry about that anymore. Then it's the actual modeling. Here's a model that we saw in the teaser. You have actually modeled this, haven't you?
No, I don't do modeling anymore. I only animate and rig the lights and do texturing, but I'm not a modeler.
And of course, we had the problem that we were using 3 different 3D softwares. So there is another phase that combines all these, but let's check that later. Modeling is pretty straightforward. We make a figure in 3D, and after that we can start to worry about how it's going to look in the final render, but this is only the figure stuff. The shape of things, so to speak. How many modelers do we have? We have 2, I think.
Yeah, Laku is doing lots of modeling things. He modeled the road elements.
And the bunker and the factory.
Yeah,
and
lots of things.
And the moon landscapes. And everything has to be modeled. After modeling, there is lighting, which is very, very important considering the final images. You can make anything look good if you light it correctly. I believe any people who do photography, can agree with me. And this is a major issue concerning timetables, because you can screw it up pretty bad over here. 3D has a lot of little small thingies. You have a cross in the wrong place, and then your rendering time like gets into multiplies by 1,000. And we have actually had those kind of problems too. But this is a phase that starts pretty early because you have to get the thing right.
Yeah, this image is good example how good lighting can really bring up the good elements of the model, because
there's actually another picture of lighting here.
Because these were pretty plain 3D models, but when lights were lit correctly, then the image did look pretty decent at least.
And the next thing that is married to light is the material of things. That the texturing phase, it means that we can wrap an image on the object, or we can make a material like you see here in the telephone. Just the sort of definement of how it glows or shines or whatever. If it has a rough surface. Over here we have the moon wrapped on the sphere here, those sort of things, and that's basically 2D work. You work with Photoshop a lot, and
yeah, it's texturing because I'm doing that a lot. It's really funny. Usually when I see a nice texture like this, well. For a gritty floor or something, I look how it goes when I change the view angle, and then I can imitate that thing in the 3D program. So being a 3D guy also requires that you look all the details in nature and remember those how they work.
Actually, 3D guys, I think they look at the world in a different way. When I'm sitting here, wow, what a nice glow, or material, metal material, that's pretty nice. How I could make that in 3D. It sort of changes your perspective on things. But I think that's important as well, to be a sort of freak in that way. But I think we're all freaks that way.
Yes.
Texturing.
Nazis on the moon. That kind of explains it.
After texturing, there's of course the animation of things. After textures and lighting and stuff, we have pretty much made the 3D objects already. Now we have to make them move. This is a strange image.
Yeah, it's from Star Trek. I used this is the bridge of the Kickstart, and I used those women objects.
Why are they women?
Yeah. Yeah, I use.
They have high heels too.
Yeah.
Every one of them.
I use them.
Even you.
Yeah. Well, don't
That's
look at me.
Curious.
Anyways, I used them as a templates so that the objects would cast shadows to the bridge object correctly.
And of course, if there are virtual characters in the film, motion capture is now the standard of making them move. So everybody knows what motion capture means, right? You have seen the Lord of the Rings special edition making-ofs and everything. Well, that's in this phase as well. And this is basically a refinement of the animatic. In many cases, we can use the animatic information, for example, camera animation in this phase as well. But this is a phase that usually takes a long time.
Yeah, and usually all the character animations in Hollywood movies, well, they usually look fake. It's really hard to emulate human movement because
we're getting there. I think.
Yeah, we are slowly getting there, but it's really easy for a human eye to see if something is wrong because we see people moving every day, but we don't see spaceships every day, so it's more easy to do a realistic spaceship that looks authentic.
Yeah, basically I think we are using virtual characters to for scenes where somebody gets killed in a nasty way in the background or something, but we don't have any golems or dobbies in this movie. moving on. Scene building, I mentioned this earlier. If we are using several different 3D software for modeling and that sort of things, we have to bring it together at some stage, or we can render the things separate in different software, but what we did with the teaser was, I think this was done with 3 or 4 different modeling software, different objects in this scene. And we bring them together for the final rendering, and then we hit the render button after that.
And then we re-render everything because we notice that something is wrong.
And this is in correlation with the lighting phase, because if things get too complicated, we realize it at this point, then we have to fine-tune the lighting so we can actually get something done in this decade. After scene building, there is of course the rendering, and you are the renderer here.
Yeah.
Tell us something.
Yeah, it's a really time-consuming process because, well, this image, as you can see, it's not rendered at full quality because there's some jaggies, some blocks to be noticed. But for example, this scene in full HD resolution is taking about 4 to 10 hours per frame on quad-core computer, which is kind of bad thing. Lightwave is a bit slow in scenes like this. I tried to optimize the scene, but I did not have any luck. And but it's slowly getting there. Actually, this scene is being rendered at our office, and hopefully we have the first frames ready when I can come back to the office at Monday.
Yeah, and of course we don't have the Hollywood muscle for rendering, so we have to improvise in the rendering phase.
Yeah, we have about 15 computers at our office rendering full time. Producing
heat.
Yeah, it's really sweaty office in many ways.
Sweatshop.
Sweatshop.
Yeah, but StarRec was we had about 5 computers during the production of StarRec, but we had the advantage of using 7 years of rendering time.
Well, the advantage.
Yeah, well, it's an advantage
okay,
from that point.
You got the job done, so yeah.
Yeah, you can turn the quality up and just wait until the computers are ready.
Yeah, but this is tricky, especially in high definition. Usually the render time multiplies by ridiculous amounts when you take the resolution up, and of course HD means that you have to make the details very much, well, a lot more detailed.
Yeah, actually, if you look carefully, you can see all our 3D guys in that scene. I'm over the second floor right there.
Somewhere here?
Yeah, there.
Cameo appearance?
No, I'm not there. And Laku is on the left, reading something.
Yes, there he is.
And you are on the second floor.
Somewhere.
Yeah, there. So it's a nice way of putting yourself in the...
Yeah. These ideas come at the late hours.
Yeah, we set up the green screen and let's start
goofing around.
Yeah.
Okay. After that, there begins the post-production. We have the basic material ready, and hopefully the filmed material as well. And the editing, of course, is when we put the raw scenes together and start making sense of it all, and we can make a viewable preview at this point, a viewable version of the movie. And if the CGI is not done yet, we can use the animatic scenes in the editing, so you can do several stages at the same time. After editing, there is the important thing of 3D tracking, which means...
So basically, 3D tracking means that when you move or pan or dolly the camera, you must copy that movement to the 3D virtual camera. and it's some cameras do it automatically. They record the camera movement,
which is amazing.
yeah, which is amazing, but they are pretty expensive and only used in Hollywood
At the moment.
productions. But we have to do the 3D tracking manually, so we insert those tracking markers there so that we can follow those markers in the 3D tracking program.
Yeah, and we can get the camera motion of the real camera into the 3D software, so we can make virtual sets or virtual characters or anything. That's basically what it is, and we did it a lot with the teaser, I think.
Yeah, the big issue was the motorcycle scene. It was the camera was moving, and then we actually the motorcycle wasn't moving, but the camera was moving, and afterwards we changed it in 3D program that actually it shows like the motorcycle is moving, but it's not. We replaced the wheels with 3D models rolling.
Yeah.
It was a daunting task, and my first 3D tracking in such a huge scene.
After that becomes the compositing, where we put all the material together, the film material, the 3D material in different layers, and
Do you have the different layers there?
no, sorry.
Can you bring them up from the? Do you have the images there?
Perhaps.
Because it really clears some things up.
Let's see now here. Pictures, composite.
Okay,
Which
so
one?
so first, okay, so these are the blue screen materials filmed in my living room. And next, please. There's a Kari Väänänen. Some guy is
Playing you.
yeah, he's playing Pirk and saying my lines so that we can put the lines in right time, and the time synchronization is okay.
There's
Timo, the director of the film,
yeah,
and of course some girls.
some girls. Yeah. More girls. No, that's
Yeah,
it.
and then the final image,
Was
it's there. Well,
let me just. This was a bad idea. Wait. Yeah, there we go. No, we don't want to do that.
so
Yeah.
now we have all the separate different shots combined, and
And in this shot, everything was 3D except the people, right?
yeah.
And
So this is called compositing.
and it takes a lot of time too, because the material, the amount of material is pretty great usually. But the basic editing has been done already, so this is mainly adding the effects.
Yeah, it was also in Star Trek production. It was up to me to remember all the camera angles, so that Commander Info and Hell's Woman and me were all shot from the right height, and the lighting was from the right side or left side. I had to remember everything because this wasn't kind of planned from the beginning. So
Yeah, but it was a learning experience.
yeah, it was a learning experience, and it worked quite okay in the end. Of course, we had to reshoot many different shots. We noticed that okay, we don't have Emperor Perk doing this in the background when we moved from close up to this wide scene. So then we went to blue screen room and shot the one shot, and then back to the compositing process.
Yeah. It was not that planned at that stage. Okay, when that is done, we actually have the whole editing, and we can do color grading, which means that we try to match things, fine-tune the colors a bit, and so it is a whole experience. It might happen that the material is kind of different in some scenes than in the others, and in here we make the whole production look like one big thing.
Yeah, and of course you can set up the feeling. Is it a warm feeling or cold?
Yeah, we can.
These basic things
Yeah.
really shows in the final thing.
I left one picture out. It was mastering, but can you tell me
Well, I
something
don't know
about
what
mastering?
that means, but
Yeah, we also have it in our timeline. We're thinking of learning what mastering is before we get to the finish. But that's it. You can come and talk to us. We have a booth here.
yeah, we have a booth here as well, and of course you can come to Energia office at Tampere if you have something you want from us, or well, of course the movie is something you probably want from us, but that we cannot deliver yet. And of course we are looking in the good 3D guys, professionals who know their stuff,
And what Samuli means when you can come and visit us, we have a merchandise store at our office, so
yeah,
anybody can come and
but we
get
also
a glimpse
chat
of
there.
how we do
But if
things.
you have any questions, we are happy to answer them right now if we have time. I really don't know what's the timetable here.
Are we late? Any questions?
Any questions?
Guess not.
I guess not. Okay,
Okay.
then this is finished.